Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. This is Dave with Wheels, Guns, and Shoes. Today I am going to discuss my Bazzaz system I put on my 2007 GSXR 1000. I test drove it a couple times and I'm really impressed with the system, and that's what I'm here to discuss today. This is what I purchased. It's from Bazzaz. It's their Z-Fi TC. It has traction control, quick shift, and fuel mapping. The part number is T647. It's for a GSXR 1000, 2007 through 2013. Here, let me pull up their website for you guys. You just type in bazzaz.net, and then from there you'd pick your model. Of course, I pick Suzuki, and then I go down to GSXR 1000, 2007 through 2008. And then that is what I purchased off of eBay. That's the original price right there, is $860. And here's some other things you can see. It tells you it comes with two maps. It kind of gives you an outline of the horsepower you can expect, and that your FI light will come on, or sometimes does come on. Also, since I purchased it off of eBay, it came with this TC map selector and traction control selector, which was a pretty awesome deal. I'm not going to lie. It's normally $130. I was happy that it came with it. I mean, it's so nice to be able to adjust the traction control and the map on the fly without having to tear everything apart. I would definitely recommend that. Mine also came with a Z-Bomb. I know it's showing some prices there of 65. I believe mine is 50. And then here's the actual traction control map select switch. Like I said, it's real nice. I have it mounted on my handlebar, and it's just really convenient. I would not suggest purchasing this product without this, if that made any sense. Meaning, like, if you bought a Bazzaz, controller, then I would definitely purchase this as well. The Z-Bomb isn't necessarily that big of a deal unless you plan on racing the motorcycle. All it does is trick the computer to think it's in fifth gear, so it doesn't limit you to 186 miles an hour. So before I get into my actual video of me building, I kind of wanted to show you what their instructions look like. I mean, it's a pretty detailed instruction. It tells you everything. The pictures are great. Everything's great. So that's why when I was kind of going through it, it was really straightforward, and I just did not see the need for a very intensive video. Also, there's a ton of videos out there on how to do it. This one in particular is really good, which is Sport Bike Track and Gear. You could just go to Google and type in Bazzaz install, and the way he has the lift and the way the lights and everything are set up, it's just perfect to kind of do like a walkthrough. Great. So that was another reason why I didn't do like a step-by-step. That wasn't necessarily the idea of this video. The idea of this video is just to kind of give you an idea if it's worth purchasing. I mean, you can see people install it. You don't really see them talk about if it's worth it or not. That's kind of why I wanted to get into that. And let me just tell you, yes, it is worth it. It's such a night and day difference. It's unbelievable. As you can see, I stripped the whole motorcycle. It's just easier. It really is. I took the gas tank off, everything off, the fairings. The only thing I left on was the front there, and you'll see that in a second. Just kind of giving myself a video on where everything is and what's happening. That eliminates the factory O2 sensor. Noting the position of the shifter. checking the overfill. Those are the vents for the fuel tank and spark plugs. That's why the FI light pops on, is because your factory exhaust valve. Just checking the exhaust right now. After I took, this is right after I took everything apart. I'm just going through and checking everything to make sure there's nothing necessarily wrong with the motorcycle. What are you doing? Arrow. Arrow. So this is the lower part that I'm installing. And as you can see, it's real tight to get in there. So I'm using this. I'm on the second one. The first one's pretty easy. So if you see how the clip works right here, I'll show you on the new harness. So here's the part that plugs in to this one. And it goes like that. So that's how it's plugging in down there. And then you just have to press this right here and it slides out. See? Okay. You just gotta keep doing that. So after installing the lower injectors, and it will have this yellow tag on it, that's the bottom part of the harness that gets installed. You run that all the way, and then right here is where the upper injectors get installed. You see how I unplug the factory harness right here, plug it into the performance module, and then the performance module's plug gets plugged into the original fuel injector. So you do that for all the injectors. That's the first step. So after I unplugged all the fuel injection connectors, I switched sides. I was on the left side of the bike. So imagine sitting down on the motorcycle. That's how you determine left and right side. So after that, I went to the other side now. So now I'm on the right side of the bike. And now here's some like things to. So here's the radiator cap. And if you go back, here's the throttle position sensor right here. And that's the next thing you got to install. So this is what you need to disconnect right here to install the throttle sensor. You just push on this and pull out. So you just push on that and it comes out. As you can see, right side of the motorcycle, here's the coolant overfill. Go down here. That is what you're changing. After installing the throttle position sensor, here's the factory harness plug. I plugged into the performance enhancer, and I plugged the performance enhancer into the throttle body. Now, staying on the right side of the bike, I'm going to go to the crank sensor, and it's this one right here. So here's the overfill for the coolant, here's the vent for the crank. This green and black wire is what you need to unplug. So here is the finished product. As you can see, that's where I decided to mount the traction control and map select switch. Here's the rear sets that I paid $119 for, along with the quick shift. Just doing a walk around. There's the other rear set. I will say I do not like the brakes on the rear set. The switch does not work well. There's a picture of my BMW. And there's the race car. That's another project I have in the works for you guys. Here's a helmet I just picked up.